The 2023 GMC Yukon SLT in white forest. The Yukon was all new for 2021. New for the year is a Denali Ultimate, which gives you black wheels, black aesthetics on the exterior. Super Cruise is now an available option with rivals like your Jeep Wagoneer, your Nissan Armada, Ford Expedition, Chevrolet Tahoe. Which one in this crowded segment is going to be the best large SUV for towing, for room inside? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The new GMC Yukon is a great large SUV with clearance at 8 inches. The Jeep Wagoneer will be the best in class, but that's something to be expected. LED headlamps, daytime runnings, the C structure goes into the enlarged GMC grille with the chrome surrounding it, with chrome gloss black with LED fog lamps, side curtains, another chrome strip there on the lower with some matte black, and it stresses how large this vehicle is. 22-inch multi-spoke gloss black GMC wheels. You get the gloss black on the running boards right there with the Yukon badging in chrome and the chrome on the doors. The front suspension is a coil-over shocks with the rear multi-link with coil springs, all new independent rear suspension, magnetic ride control, mechanically limited slip differential, a length at 210 inches with a wheelbase at 120.9 inches, about a half an inch longer than the prior generation, but that's not something that you're going to complain about because you really want space. This is about 4 inches less in length than the Jeep Wagoneer. LED tail lamps working down the lower bit with the matte black. You get some vents on the side, chrome surrounding the whole bottom, towing up to 8,400 pounds. The Jeep Wagoneer nearly 10,000 pounds. But if you need that much towing, go to a 2500 Silverado and you could tow over 14,000 pounds. You could tow a large boat with this, going inside to your power tailgate, starting with the cargo at 25.5 cubic feet. Because of that independent suspension, this gives us around 66% more storage in the back. We have a 12-volt charger, storage underneath the floor. The rear bench splits at a 60-40 split, increasing the cargo to 49.4 cubic feet. Split fold the second row bench at a 60-40 split, increasing the cargo to 122.9 cubic feet. That's the best in class, comparing it to all the rivals, and this is not the longest vehicle in its class. You can get a larger vehicle too, because you got the XL. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that V8 engine. You heard the sound that comes out of that V8. No twin turbos needed. They back the performance with a 5.3 liter Ecotec 3 V8 producing 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, achieving 15 to 20 mpgs, 0 to 60 around 7 seconds, quarter mile mid 15 seconds, stopping 70 to 0 around 180 feet. This is over 3 tons. The land yacht with performance styling on the exterior, V8 power. It's not going to be the fastest. That goes to the Ford Expedition Timberline. However, this is going to be more of a performance look on the exterior with some luxury on the interior. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 GMC Yukon as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test. Entering inside the GMC Yukon. Pretty easy because we got running boards. Headroom at 42.3 inches, legroom 44.5 inches. Leather bucket front seats, 10-way power adjustment for the front. They're heated and ventilated. I do like the piping and the contrast stitching. The dashboard gets this sporty look with the wood. You get the silver, the contrast stitching, The chrome surrounds the center and your air vents on both sides. And I like that they make it where the navigation comes out with the chrome trim over the top. So paying attention to detail, they did a great job. You get the matte black finish for your air vents, dual climate control settings here in the center, USB-A, USB-C, and you get a 12-volt wireless charging pad right here where you could use it as a storage pocket. Cup holders, a 16.9 ounce can fit, I would say, about a 32 ounce max. And you got a storage compartment right here with your cup holders behind for the center second row. We have the 10.2 diagonal touchscreen with navigation. So we got the pinch and we got the swipe. Click the home button. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM. Your quick wedges here that you can just tap on the fly, Google Assist, Google Play Store, Wi-Fi hotspot, My GMC, Google News. You also have the trailer lighting, which is really nice because this makes it easy for you. You can just start your test, making sure everything is taken care of right through there. Pull it to reverse. We have a reverse camera with trajectory. You can click here so you can see the tow lineup to make it easy for your reversing. Open up inside. You got a storage tray that you can slide back and forth, pick it up, USB-A and USB-C, and this is a huge storage pocket. You could probably fit a large pocketbook. Leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function, and you get the silver in between it, the GMC grill badging in the center. Full digital gauge cluster that can go through an array of information, and you can toggle through here on all perimeters. You can have your navigation, your Bluetooth audio sound system. You can change everything on both sides too, and it's very easy to configure as you're seeing. I do like how easy it is to just scroll through here to tailor it to your liking. Door panel, get your everyday materials with the contrast stitching. You get the wood and the chrome. One touch up and down for the front windows. Soft for your elbows, memory for the driver. Storage pocket with another storage pocket and your premium Bose sound system. For the second row, I'm at 38.9 inches of headroom, 42 inches of legroom. It's like a truck inside here. You have the air vents in the ceiling, your third climate control, 2 USB-C ports and a home plug. Storage behind both of the front seats, and the floor is more or less completely flat. Elbows are going to be a little bit soft on this side. As for cup holders, 20 ounce should fit without any issues. Door panel, get your everyday materials with the wood and the silver. One touch down, soft where you rest your elbows, and I like that it has a 2 different pattern with the contrast stitching, storage pocket at the top and on the lower with your premium Bose sound system. Sitting into the center, absolutely no issues. Headroom nor legroom. You're not really sharing any space for your feet, butt, shoulder because this is such a wide. The challenge is the third row. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the seat like this so you can see how I fit back there with leg space. We're going to also adjust it to the middle so you can see how I sit as well. We're going to recline it, and you can see it's going to be a little bit more tight, but the good thing is you can fit into the third row, and let's see how I look back there. For the third row, I'm at 38.2 inches of headroom, 34.9 inches of legroom. Because I got the seat in the middle position, I have a substantial amount of space back here. Air vents are in the ceiling, so I do feel it on me, but it doesn't necessarily circulate all over. So for a hot day, it takes a few minutes. It's a lot of square footage inside. On the side panel, all harder materials. This I don't like because we're at a $70,000 price point. You get a USB-C port, cup holder, and an area that you could either fit another cup holder or your smartphone. The windows are pretty good size. I wish this style Q maybe had the window pushed up a little bit more, but I get it. You want it to look sporty on the exterior. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center headroom is the same thing plus leg space because it's a 60-40 split. Can you fit 3 adults? You can. It's just the width. You lose at least 4 to 6 inches on both sides. So it's not going to be as desirable as the second row. Taking the 2023 GMC Yukon SLT out for our test run. 5.3 Ecotech V8 with 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 numbers in the 7 seconds. This is 3 tons. It's over that. So, I mean, when you're talking about something that weighs over 6,000 pounds, that's quick. This is definitely a land yacht, all boxed up. And this is something that when you drive it, you're gonna go on long trips. You're just gonna glide through everything. You have a large windscreen, you have a large hood. The dash also is long, so it really does project that this vehicle is enormous. It's also very wide. Comparing it to the Jeep Wagoneer, that one is going to be a little bit more tech savvy. However, the price point is going to escalate really quickly to the $100,000 price point, in which you might as well just get the Grand Wagoneer. This one as well can escalate pretty high up there. The interior leg space is going to be more in the rear. We're going to stop here so you can see how this land yacht performs, and here we go. Quiet in the interior, 22-inch wheels. I always like to hear the exhaust note out of a V8. Very smooth. It does push you back, so it does have a good amount of torque. It's gonna lead me to the three things I like and three things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this Yukon. The three things that I like to start off with is that you can fit everybody in this vehicle, and driving it doesn't feel enormous. It does feel wide and tall. However, it doesn't feel that long until you look in the back. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is that we get around 66% more cargo capacity because of that rear independent suspension. The last thing that I like is now you can option the Super Cruise Control on the vehicle, because last year you could only get it on the top tier. Bringing me to three things that I dislike has to start off with, it needs a little bit more power. I would recommend the Duramax diesel. When you're comparing it to the rivals, they all have a lot more horsepower and torque. Yes, they're changing to twin turbos, and at least we still have a V8. I do like that. But when you're under 400 pound-feet of torque with over 6,000 pounds, you just got to do the math. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle is the power seat adjustments. There's only 10-way power seats. At a $70,000 price point, the rivals start giving you more of 14, 16, 18, 22-way power seat adjustments, no massage seats either. Bringing me to the last thing that I dislike, because the Grand Wagoneer really stresses a more minimalistic look, or the way they do the buttons, it's more seamless because you can get screens depending on the tier, or if you go into the Grand Wagoneer. Here, there's a lot of buttons going on. This was a refresh in 2021. I like that we have buttons. I wish that it wasn't just so many buttons, because it can get a little bit overwhelming, especially when you're driving. Turn radius at a stop point. Going to be getting, long vehicle, about 2.5, 3 lanes. Here we go. And stopping, not the best in class. You do feel it in the pedal, but it can do it. Just don't go crazy. Dynamic wise, it is obviously top heavy, so don't go crazy on cornering. Comparing this to the Nissan Armada, the only thing they changed there was the gauge cluster in the infotainment screen. Here, I wish the infotainment was a little bit larger. Ford just goes crazy with it. It's way too big, or it just feels like an F-150, because that's the whole design that they have. The steering wheel is very light, so it makes it even easier to drive on a long journey. I mean, it's ticking all the boxes. You got plenty of towing and payload capacity with room for 8.